What's up, guys? Welcome back to Time Vision Talks. My name is Mustafa, and today I'm with
Abdullah
and
Fike.
And today we're gonna discuss, is hip hop dead? You know, it's kind of a controversial topic, with hip hop being one of the most popular genres in music right now, and with a lot of different hip hop and rap artists coming about, and there's a lot of different variety in the music itself. So let's talk about that. So I'm just reading this from this website. It says hip hop is not just music, it is a culture and a form of expression, right? So it started off in the late 70s as a socio-political empowerment movement, and you know, things like NWA, if you guys know about them or have seen the movie Straight Outta Compton recently, it talks about how it is a movement given to the people who didn't have a voice. It was a voice for the voiceless, basically.
Yeah.
These people who lived in the ghettos, who were always looked down upon and always treated as thugs and criminals. This was a way for them to creatively express themselves as an artist. And as each artist does, they talk about, or they express, and they paint on canvas what they experience in their reality. So in the beginning, how it started was an expression of their struggles, right? A lot of the artists that we heard of from the beginning, KRS-One, Run DMC, Tupac and Biggie, Public Enemy, these guys would talk about their struggles and things that they would face, and a lot of the gang violence and affiliations that they struggled with at that time. You were talking about that KRS-One song that breaks down what hip hop is, right?
Yeah, it talks about like how hip is the knowledge and hop is the movement. And like, as you were saying, there's different elements of hip hop, like the whole graffiti aspect, like the b-boy dance style, or whatever it may be, like the music, the lyrics, like it was like a whole culture, it was like a whole movement. And honestly, I feel like because those are sort of like the pioneers, the people that shaped hip hop to like, and sort of set that tone,
Right.
And a lot of the times, as any music is, it's like, it's empowering, as you were saying, they're talking about their experiences, they're talking
Right.
about their lives, they're talking about what they're living every day, their struggles or whatever it may be. And it's like a form of expression for them, as it is now today too. So I feel like a lot of people hate on hip hop and what it is today, because some people are just like old school, they're like, yo, I like these old school rappers, that's what real hip hop is, that's what real music is. But honestly, in my opinion, I feel like hip hop then versus now it's still similar, like it's just that it's a different time era, so it's gonna be different music, as it will be in the future. Like right now, like how J. Cole said, like trap drums is like what's hot now, so like trap music is big right now, so, but I don't know, what do you guys think?
Also is that like a lot of these new rappers, and like, well, not all of them, but like some of them use like I feel like they glorify like drugs and like.
Yeah, they do. But it's because that's what they're living too, right? Yeah. And honestly, like, there's a difference between like talking about it and glorifying it, And you're right, like it's glorified, and you see it in the culture, especially with like social media and everything now. Like everything has way more exposure, and you see it.
And even the types of drugs that was talked about in hip hop back then, were mostly weed, drinking alcohol and liquor. Maybe some hip hop artists talked about crack and cocaine. I'm not sure, like, to that extent. None of it is good, but the drugs that are being glorified now are, I would say, far more dangerous, like lean and Xanax, and these depressants that can like
really hurt you. And honestly, so many people have died. Like, bro, I swear,
over-
Lil Wayne, how many times has Lil Wayne almost died from lean, bro? This man's OD'd like bare times.
Almost.
He's a survivor, you always comes
And
back.
like recently with Juice WRLD,
Yeah.
Juice
Okay,
WRLD.
that was a whole different thing. Like with Juice WRLD is that, okay, yeah, he was doing the drugs, he was like whatever. I don't listen to his music that much, but I don't know if he was glorifying them or not. But his was like a whole scenario. It's not like he overdosed because of taking too much. He was in that scenario, from my knowledge. Okay, I might be wrong, I might not be wrong, but from what I know, he took those drugs because the police were searching his plane. He's like, yo, if I need to get rid of these drugs, or I'm gonna get time, or whatever it may be. So he just downed him, not realizing that he was gonna overdose and die from that, So,
So that's the situation that leaves the youth today, that they have all these access to drugs but very little knowledge of what to do with them or the caution that comes with it.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it's because there's no one talking about it except these rappers. Like, okay, and this is like a whole other topic, and I don't really want to get into that and stuff. But like, how I think was it Spain or some country like that legalized all drugs.
Yeah.
So now that like all those drugs are legal, you can talk about it more openly. There's more education. If something is legal, you're telling them about it, but you're only like giving that sort of like view on it, you know?
Right.
That okay, like it's bad, this and that. I'll be honest with you. Like if I'm telling you your whole life that this is bad, this is not good, this is not good, and like you shouldn't do it. At some point, as a human being, you still want to do it because you're like, what is this, you know?
Yeah.
But if there's more knowledge about it, if we're talking about it, there's more dialogue, there's more conversation, it could be a totally different story, you know? But that's besides the point. Sorry, what were you saying again, Mustafa?
So another divide in hip hop versus now versus then has been in the lyrical content. So like you were mentioning earlier, trap beats are hot now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are really into the instrumentals. A lot of people are really into the heavy beats, and they're not really like paying attention to what's being said. They're just paying attention to how it's being said, or just vibing to the melody of it, to the flow of it.
You know what it is? It's just that whatever sounds good to the ear is what's gonna pop, you know?
So Abdullah is a dancer, and he listens to a lot of R&B and a lot of new style music based on for what it sounds like. Obviously, you don't really dance to the words of it, right?
Yeah, no. I just like pay attention more to the beat and like how the music itself like makes me feel.
So what's your opinion on how music sounds like today versus then?
Well,
Okay, who do you listen to first of all? Like, who are some of your favorite artists?
Okay,
Like, that's what we gotta know pretty much.
okay, so I do listen to J. Cole, but I mostly listen to Chris Brown. Chris Brown. Also, like I do listen to like some of these new artists as well, like
XXX,
Juice WRLD,
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine, yeah. All of them new artists.
So majority of the people you listen to are like from 2000 and ahead. Like you don't listen to like not much on like Michael Jackson. Even though like you're a big Chris Brown fan, because I think you would like Michael Jackson like music. You feel like a Chris Brown fan or like the Weeknd fan. Because I'm a huge Weeknd fan, but that's because I play a lot of like Michael Jackson tracks too on my playlist. And honestly, when I was younger, like straight up, I used to listen to just old school, and I was totally of that mindset like, oh, all these new tracks are whack and this and that. But as I grew older and I started listening to more of the new artists, now I don't even listen to the older artists as much as I listen to the new ones. Because when I was growing up, like my siblings used to like, especially my sister used to like a lot of Tupac and stuff. So I used to listen to that. Then I got into the whole underground and old school hip hop scene for the longest time until like in my adult years. And that's when I started listening to more of the modern day stuff. And honestly, I bang it heavy like every single day.
So a lot of the people who prefer this new like newer style of music, where it's a really melody heavy, beat heavy, not really focused on what's being said, is that like the reasoning for that is it's just easier to listen to. It's easier to have in the background when you're in the car or when you're in the club or just in a just when you're just vibing around, that you're not really paying attention to what's being said. Whereas older style underground hip hop or older school hip hop, there was really a focus on what the words being said. It was really used to paint a picture, and the music was just to aid the message. And the picture that was trying to be painted is either like a storytelling song where they're trying to tell the perspective on a life or an experience they encountered, or it was lyrically heavy based on poetical schemes such as punchlines and bars, puns, and these are the things which you also have to really listen to decipher and understand and get.
Yeah, I feel like it's more nowadays. Okay, but honestly, now that you've said all that, like, I totally agree with you. Like, especially now that I've listened to all that old school hip hop and like all the underground music, like there's still a market for that, you know?
For
like,
sure.
Not necessarily old school as much because
it's always been called underground because it's
exactly,
it's not mainstream.
It's not mainstream, exactly. And like obviously they have certain messages, they have certain like, and every artist is different, you know? They have their own thing. But you should listen to J. Cole, bro. If you're talking about storytelling, and this guy's a storyteller, especially like his last couple albums just being super emotional and like it's been insane. And when you see a person like transition even in his rap career and like from what he was before to what he is now, like he's totally a different person. The things he's rapping about is totally different, you know? Now he has more of a message. He's more with like the culture of like helping people and like not talking about drugs and this and that. But prior to that, like he was talking about certain things of that nature, you know, and like girls and whatever it is, living that sort of lifestyle. And at the end of the day, like even like you said, like these guys are talking about like their lives and they're rapping about this stuff. When you look at all these rappers and these guys now, that's literally all they're doing is like they are doing those drugs. Like majority of the ones that are talking about, they are doing them. Yeah. They're not necessarily all like gangbanging or like, you know, into hard, like super heavy into like gangs or whatever, but they still talk about it because they have to paint that picture. Yeah. So that in that sense, I get it. But the whole drugs, money, partying, like it's there, you know, it's happening.
With that being said, like artists like XXX or like Juice WRLD or 6ix9ine, these people who have faced consequences for dealing with these situations. What do you think about that? Like, are they living that life or are they just painting that picture?
I feel like they don't know a lot about the industry. You know, I feel like it comes like, yeah, it has ups and downs, right? But
and Nipsey Hussle as well, like these people who are part of the industry but like suffered consequences.
But if you think about it, like okay, like out of those 3 people or the 4 people that you named, 3 of them have passed away and 2 of them were shot. Like XXX was like assassinated. If you think about it, like he was shot point blank. Like same thing with Nipsey Hussle. So only only person that died was Juice WRLD, and it wasn't even because he was like specifically intentionally trying to consume those drugs for that purpose. It was more, like I said, from my knowledge, for the purpose of hiding it, you know? And that's why it was sort of like, it was a mess up, you know? It was like a shitty scenario at the end of the day. Like, you hate to see that.
Yeah, it's true, but with the shootings though,
and then
I feel like
6ix9ine going to jail for that.
Bro, the shootings, bro, honestly, at the end of the day, those guys are just haters, bro. Like, at the end of the day, if you have some success, if you're a successful person, you're a public figure, you have influence and all that, like, people are gonna hate on you. So, people don't wanna see people win, and that's the sad truth. And if that's how it has to happen, then that's how it happens. Like, but hopefully that's not the case any longer.
I feel like it's a cycle though, like all these kids.
All the good rappers die young, no? Yeah. Was that track? Roddy Ricch, Die Young?
Yeah.
That's a new track, no?
I didn't listen to it though. Yeah, see, I feel like it's a cycle though. You know, with all these kids that were like listening to these rappers, and when they see all these artists getting killed, then all okay, never mind. Fucking.
And then the whole point is that this is what's in the mainstream. These are the types of songs that are played on the radio. These are the types of songs that the kids are listening to. Like one of my friends works at a daycare at the YMCA, and he was just telling me like one of the kids who was in 6th grade came up to him and asked him if he knew who Lil Pump was. Said, if you don't know who Lil Pump is, you don't know what music is.
Oh.
So kids these days, they're growing up with that in mind, that this is what music is.
But that is what music is to them.
To them.
Yeah.
But that is to them. So, but like music is interpreted individually, you know.
But the whole point is that the music is giving the message to these kids, and these are the
okay. That sense, yeah, you're
and
right.
this is the popular message that is getting out to the majority.
Yeah, that's not good shit.
Right. So these are the things that we kind of want to discuss about hip hop then versus now. The message that is being said lyrically, what's being spoken about, and how it sounds, and what's being carried out afterwards. With the hip hop beefs and altercations and criminal cases, all these things. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you listen to hip hop? Do you like hip hop now versus back then? What are some of your favorite artists?
Yeah. And drop some sick tracks if you know any.
Yeah.
Listen to some new tracks.
Make sure to leave a like and share with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We would like to hear everyone's opinion, no matter where you are. My name is Mustafa Maula.
Abdullah.
Fight.
I'll see you next time on the next episode.
Peace.